Welcome to our channel, a place where meaningful stories come alive, stories that move the heart, stir the spirit, and remind us of the extraordinary strength within ordinary lives. Here, we explore moments that inspire change, love that endures hardship, friendships that redefine loyalty, and personal battles that reveal the true depth of human resilience. Every narrative you find here echoes the power of hope, the courage to rise again, and the tenderness that connects one soul to another. If you enjoy heartfelt journeys and real-life emotions woven into compelling tales, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the moments that matter most. Our story today is one that blends love, betrayal, forgiveness, and redemption, a story that lives at the crossroads where compassion meets the shadows of revenge, where the past refuses to be forgotten, yet the future demands to be written anew. It is a story that begins softly, like many others, in the delicate innocence of two people who believed that love alone could conquer anything. Arav and Mira met during their first year of college. He was quiet, thoughtful, and observant, the type who studied people before speaking. Mira, on the other hand, was warm, lively, and unafraid to show the world exactly who she was. They fit together in a way neither of them could explain. He was her calm, and she was his spark. They built dreams together, sharing long conversations, endless laughter, and promises to stay by each other's side no matter what life brought their way. Life, however, has a way of testing even the purest connections. In their final year, as responsibilities increased and career decisions loomed, the distance between them grew. Mira was offered a prestigious internship in another city, while Arav struggled to balance financial burdens at home. He encouraged her to go, believing love could bridge any gap. But as days turned into weeks, communication began to fade. Arguments replaced affection, misunderstandings replaced trust, and silence became more common than conversation. Then came the moment that shattered everything. Mira returned home months later, appearing more distant than ever. Arav felt the shift instantly. Something in her eyes had changed. One evening, overwhelmed by the weight of everything unsaid, she confessed that during her time away, she had grown close to someone else. It hadn't begun intentionally, she said, but loneliness and confusion had led her into a mistake she regretted deeply. To Arav, it was more than a mistake. It was betrayal. The dreams they had built together collapsed in an instant. He stood there, listening to the woman he loved speak words that echoed like a storm inside him, and all he could feel was a hollow ache spreading through his chest. They broke apart that night, not with anger, but with a pain too heavy for either of them to carry. Mira left in tears, and Arav watched her go, feeling as though the world he had trusted had turned against him. Months passed. Arav threw himself into work, determined to rise above what he called the ruins of his past. He believed success would heal him, that achievement would build a new identity untouched by heartbreak. And in many ways, it did. He grew stronger, more focused, more capable. But somewhere beneath that new armor, the hurt remained, quiet, hidden, but alive. Mira tried to reach out several times, not to rekindle love, but to mend what she had broken. Arav ignored every message, believing she had no place left in his story. Yet life does not always follow the path we expect. Years later, fate brought them face to face again. Arav had become a project manager for a major company, while Mira worked for an NGO collaborating with his firm. Their reunion was unexpected, unplanned, and filled with a silence so heavy it nearly took the air out of the room. Mira looked different, more grounded, more mature, as if life had humbled her and rebuilt her in ways pain often does. Arav felt old emotions rise, tangled with resentment he had never fully released. Working together forced them to speak, slowly at first, then with the ease of two people who had once known every corner of each other's hearts. But their conversations carried a new tone, not of lovers rediscovering passion, but of individuals recognizing how much they had grown, how time had reshaped them, how pain had taught them in different ways. One evening, after a long meeting, Mira finally apologized in the way she had always wanted to, honestly, without excuses, without hoping for anything in return. She explained that after losing him, she confronted the parts of herself that had been weak, confused, and afraid. She spent years rebuilding her values, dedicating herself to causes greater than her own struggles. She told him she did not expect forgiveness, but she owed him the truth. She still carried the guilt of hurting the only person who had loved her so selflessly. Arav heard her, not with the anger of the past but with the clarity of a man who had lived long enough to understand that broken people make broken choices. He realized that holding on to bitterness had limited him, shaping his life more than he wanted to admit. Forgiveness, he understood, was not a gift to Mira, it was freedom for himself. Their bond did not return to what it once was, nor did it need to. They built a new form of connection, rooted not in romance, but in mutual respect and understanding. Arav learned that healing is not about erasing the past but making peace with it. Mira learned that true growth requires confronting the parts of oneself that are hardest to face. In time, they both found love again, different love, healthier love, with people who entered their lives when they were ready to give without losing themselves. Yet what they shared remained a quiet reminder of everything they had overcome. Their story teaches that life is not a battle between love and revenge. It is a journey of facing the wounds we hide, choosing compassion over resentment, and allowing ourselves to rise stronger from the fragments of what once broke us. Love may hurt, betrayal may scar, but resilience is the force that turns pain into purpose, memories into lessons, and endings into beginnings. Subscribe to our channel if stories like this move your heart and remind you of the incredible resilience we carry within. More real stories await, stories of triumph, courage, loyalty, and the unforgettable journeys that shape who we become.